3, 2, 1.
Salutations! This is the Couch Gaming Podcast. This is cringe.
I started this. This is so
Such a dumb intro. This is such a
so fucking
unsubscribe. Unsubscribe.
such a beta cuck.
Roll something.
Salutations! Welcome back to the Couch Gaming Podcast, a podcast that is only for alpha males. Guys, right? Alpha males, right?
Where do you want us to go from there?
The alphas, yeah, of course.
Yeah, alphas. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say only for alphas, but we have probably a beta cuck and
Amongst our ranks? They're among us?
Amogus.
Among Us.
Focus.
Amogus. But I'm Michael Riccobono. Pleasure to have you guys back to our very low subscriber count. Charles Carlisle, he's right in front of me. Probably one of my best friends. Love you, buddy. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Charles Carlisle, like you just said.
Well, like,
Exactly what he said.
Look, you know what? I kind of took offense. We have over 69 subscribers, and that's pretty based, all right?
Actually, we have 269.
No, I'm aware of that.
We have 269.
69?
You?
Yes.
Holy
I am not
shit.
kidding you.
no.
We have 269.
I will confirm this
69
on the
is
podcast.
all that I'm worried about.
69,
But
Pull it up.
idiot. You dyslexic fuck.
100. Wait, what? Oh no, yeah,
all right,
169.
so this is our social media manager.
No. Oh, 169. But we still have 169 something.
69.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
Hey, we're exactly at 169.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's
I
that's
called
good.
it. That,
Yeah,
That is.
there we
that's pretty alpha.
Yeah. And then Nathan, last name I don't know.
Fox, I thought it'd be easy to remember.
Nathan Fox.
No.
Dude, what a fox. Then we have Jacob Sizemore.
Hey.
Just hold the mic. Oh my
Good
god.
Lord.
Like, okay, all right. I gotta go.
Let's get the episode started.
My name is Liam. Nice to be here.
The only one of us who actually may have actually dressed like an alpha male. The one who presented himself as an alpha male is a fat guy sitting on on a lounge chair
Without his pillow.
without his pillow.
that's-
Without his pillow, yeah.
I can get the pillow if you want.
You're Santa Claus without the cheery, the beard, the personality, the red suit, the
the
goodness, the.
The B&E.
So if you haven't guessed, today's episode we're going to be discussing the whole alpha beta thing and
I love you, Michael. Sorry.
if you will, and how it's just fucking ridiculous. So first of all, I want to get everyone's opinion, starting with Mr. Rich Bono over here.
Oh, my opinion on like alpha males and beta
The whole complex of alpha, beta, sigma, all of it.
So yeah, I think my opinion is on the matter is I think the correct one. I think it's all nonsense, to be honest. I think the whole labels or whatever, it's kind of nonsense to me. And we had a conversation about it before, but like, oh man, is Michael a beta cuck or is he like a theta or whatever? I was like, I literally don't care. It literally doesn't matter.
As long as you're based, it doesn't matter.
I mean, look, I feel like we're people are a combination of the quote stereotypes or what are they called again?
Yeah. There's no way to like really narrow down somebody to like a base stereotype like this guy's an alpha male, but he has like everyone's gonna have other traits. Like even the most alpha males like a teddy bear or something. Like so something like that.
I don't know. I mean,
I get what you're saying.
but also.
Also, I like how you have just memes the crap out of that.
Yeah.
That is not also.
But I don't know. I think it's on one hand it's funny to call someone a beta cuck, but on the other hand, like if someone is a quote beta, I mean it's not automatically a bad thing. Like, look, I don't care that you're a beta, Liam. I really don't. You're my friend. Okay?
I don't care if you're a basic white boy.
But no, that's my opinion. I think it's all just nonsense. I think it's all stupid, but I mean, whatever. It really doesn't matter to me.
Charles,
Same thing.
you have the stage.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Interesting take.
I'm with them. I mean, there's been a lot of labels that have been said about me: manly, good looking, strong.
Charles the Body Count Carlisle.
But really, these are just labels. All right, they don't describe who that person is. All right. No, but
Yes, I will humbly accept the,
yeah,
the term alpha male.
Look, if people think that about me, no, I'm kidding. Okay, so yeah, no, it's obvious bullshit because like the people who call themselves alphas are never alphas, and honestly, the whole debate is insane to me because if you want to have an actual like real life alpha beta sort of characterization of somebody, it's not going to be anybody you see online. For as far as alpha goes, somebody who's in control of his own life, who is fulfilled, and has the values and attributes that you'd consider consider to be alpha, they're not wasting it online. They have everything that they need in their own lives. Like, I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and I know there's going to be the commenters talking about how the whole like alpha wolf pack thing was nonsense, and oh god, yeah, shut up. We fucking know, we get it.
Honestly,
all right,
Mikey, let's be real though about our commenters. It's just going to be people who will basically point out the fact that yes, I am fat, and apparently I have a nasally feminine voice.
Oh man.
But only one person in that could take that comment and 100% agree with it and go on with it. That was the funniest comment.
I did answer that question though.
For those of you, for context, for those of you like the last podcast we had, we released a short, the best short, and then some guy commented down below. It was the would you rather, and someone commented like, would you rather be a fat whale or like have a feminine nasally voice? And he was referring to you, and then you took that in stride, my dude.
True. Look, I even said it in the comment. I'm like the weight of a freight truck, and sure, my voice is probably obnoxious. I get it. I'm with it. But like, if I had to like truly choose, like I could just get rid of one. Yeah, I'd get rid of the voice. I'd love to have like
but it's a perfect singing voice. To be fair,
I mean, sure.
It is a perfect
man
singing
can
voice.
sing.
Yeah.
Look, if I could have like just a deep baritone, like just a voice that sounds like just, I don't know, like if something could sound like Velvet, like that's what I would want.
You're one of those guys who can sing Queen at karaoke with confidence.
I mean, I don't have confidence in a lot of things, but I do have confidence in that.
Getting up in there and singing that. Yeah.
Maybe one of our videos will be me doing a
dungeon
cover.
master
Yeah, there we go.
I've ever seen.
I mean, that's what we've been doing for the vast majority of the podcast. We've all been singing. I've just never put it in so far.
You should do that.
I really should have, but it always feels like weird because we start out with the song and immediately go into degeneracy.
Yeah, it's the best.
Anyway, what's your definition of tell me.
What is wrong
Is there any
with
legitimate? Quick question: is there any legitimacy to the whole complex in general?
We're just not gonna say our opinions.
Well, he's going to say his opinion, but we're going to kind of dive deeper because it seems that Michael and Charles are kind of in agreement. It's a bunch of bullshit. Honestly, I'd probably fall in the same line as that. But is there an appropriate time to actually apply the label?
Not really. No. No. Cool. Because they're based on arbitrary attributes and also things that are subjective, meaning they could change. So anyone can be an alpha male one day and then be a beta cuck soy boy the next day. Like it really doesn't matter. Unlike, other things with race, gender, things like that.
It reminds me of what I was.
It will not divulge.
Doesn't matter like race and gender, you know.
No, but actually, Nathan,
It's not essential.
but
Okay.
no, what Nathan said actually, it reminds me of what we were at the cigar lounge. I mean, it reminds me of like even the labels of someone who's a introvert, an extrovert, or what was the other one?
Ambivert.
Yeah, like
Amber Alert.
Ambivert.
But like when people
never heard
say that, you're an introvert and that's just how you are. And it's like, no, I mean, like when I was in elementary school, middle school, and like a little bit of high school, like a short period of time in high school. Oh, dude, I was the shy, reserved kid. I had no confidence in holding a conversation with anyone. Nowadays, I mean, yeah, I could talk. Yeah. I'm an extrovert. I'm
Yeah.
bombastic.
Yeah, you got like again. We were talking about this last night. Like you are actually the life out of all of us. Like I am definitely the one who wants to stay alone, and you are definitely like one of those guys who like he's the life of the party, 1,000%, 1,000%. But like going back to like the alpha male subject, like the appropriate times, like I'll say what I said in the car. I agree with the alpha male mentality up until the point at the end of their sentence. It's like, because every time an alpha male starts a sentence, it seems like it would go somewhere where it would seem genuine and productive to society. It's like, men need to be men. Men need to stand up for themselves. Men need to stand up for women. Men need to be gentlemen, open doors, like stuff and stuff like that. It makes sense up until the very end of the sentence when they said, I need to sleep with 16,000 women, Charles.
Whoa, wait.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'll defend him.
That is
Charles is not.
I'm entirely joking. I'm entirely joking. I love Charles.
Probably 16 at least.
yeah, somewhere, yeah.
Well,
I
feel like it was a natural transition when you end it with the whole idea of the fact that it usually builds up to something that is seemingly correct. However, the conclusion often is wrong. That is going to actually transfer the conversation over to Andrew Tate, because there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and there's a whole lot of ugly involved. So I want to kind of go into the whole conversation of that. And there's also other people. You got his brother Tristan. You got that guy with the beard who's Southern. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, he just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and he's like the Andrew Tate but white guy.
Well, he was the one on the Whatever podcast that was talking about how he has worked too hard to commit. That he has worked so hard, he has come to this place in life, and he feels that as though he is entitled or he has the right to not commit to a woman. This is the one case where I was agreeing with the woman on the podcast, actually.
Yeah.
But no. This lady was talking to him and saying, "Why don't you just commit to one person?" He's just like, "Well, because I worked for this. I earned this. As if he's somehow entitled to being just be a degenerate. Which sure, he has the freedom to do so, but I want to kind of dive into the element of how far does alpha male culture take this for people that actually follow it?
Seems they're justifying degeneracy. And what I mean by that is, like, again, what you just said is like, I have worked so hard. No one can say that self-proclaimed alpha males, people like Andrew Tate, have not worked hard. They've 100% worked hard. But then, like, the point where I start to veer off from that was when they start treating women like objects and treating women like herds of cattle. Again, Andrew Tate's business, the cam business, stuff like that. Like, I can agree with like basis stuff with Andrew Tate and stuff like that, but as soon as you get into like the cam business stuff like that, it's like, nah.
When he's basically just pimping women out, and people are like, well, that was in his past and all of that. And he does he?
Still does.
Really?
Still pimping hoes. He has a university called Pimpin' Hose University. You can sign up for that.
It's business. I gotta sign.
Oh my gosh. But no. Like, I feel like that's the biggest drawback from the alpha male. And it's like, there's a lot of things that many young men can say that, like, that's what I want to be like someone who is rich, who has worked really hard, who is not lazy, who doesn't sit on the couch and stuff like that. That stuff you can say, like, I can respect that, but it's the other stuff that, like, the degenerate, treating women like property, all this kind of other stuff that just kind of veers the wrong path. And again, like you said, like, they're making an excuse for being like that because they've worked hard. Like, I can be like this because I've worked hard.
I wouldn't even
that's
say
not
that
true at all.
For the most part, that and people like Andrew Tate have probably, for the culture, done a lot more good than bad. But it's the bad things that stand out. Because here's the thing. I know a lot of young men that have genuinely become better men after listening to Andrew Tate. I also know a lot of young men who have embraced kind of a toxic mentality towards themselves and towards women after watching Andrew Tate. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, you have people that used to kind of a weaker mindset grow past that after listening to Andrew Tate. I ultimately think Jordan Peterson would probably be a better role model in that situation. But then you have people that were kind of situated that listened to him and they kind of grew and they're like, wait, no, I deserve to be a millionaire, and money becomes their entire focus. There's nothing more beyond it. It just becomes about money, about having riches, about having bitches, or as you say.
I mean, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with the mentality of like career first, though. I will say that
there is a point of career first where it could, when it becomes the primary focus of every aspect of your life, it can become toxic.
Like the point of like someone who's wanting to build up a career, build up a portfolio or a bunch of money to be able to provide for a wife or a kids or a family and build a life out of that. Sure. There's one way, or there's what you just said, someone who's just wanting to do that because to look down on other people or just to be at that point, like what kind of purpose are you serving?
A career-oriented person necessarily does it to be able to look down on others.
Again, like I
don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to put career first, and if you want to take 5-10 years or however long, to be in a position where, I mean, you do have a position like a position of like higher status, but if again, like I think it's different from you're using that status to have whore out bitches or whatever, whatever. But again, I don't think there's anything wrong inherently with wanting to spend 10 years, 15 years, however long an individual wants to spend being career oriented.
I thought you were about to say, I don't think there's anything wrong inherently with whoring out bitches.
However, oh my gosh.
Charles is looking like he's like holding a thought back, so I want to give him the opportunity to speak.
I'm not sure that this is the core of Andrew Tate's whole pitch in terms of like what he's about is like just trying to further, like you should just further your own career and like wait until that's all out of the way to settle down. And I don't think that that's his core message at all. I think he says some easy stuff like men and women are different, that we have different roles, that men should be dominant, that all this kind of shit. And then he just throws in wild controversial stuff that either doesn't make sense or is just completely off base or contradictory.
Women are men's property.
Yeah, I mean, it's and so I don't think he's saying anything unique to like what men really should be hearing from Jordan Peterson and other role models. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't see any benefit to Andrew Tate.
Now, I will say this. I will say this real quick. So, unlike I'm sure the four of you, I actually really don't watch a lot of Andrew Tate, like any kind of videos to like the full extent, because I just don't really care. But I will say, just to at least maybe kind of play devil's advocate, I know a lot of people when they quote kind of shitty Andrew Tate like quotes or like situations that he's been in, I do know that a lot of times that they take like clips out of context. So I have no idea. I just don't really watch any of his shit for the most part.
Oh yeah,
but I know it happens a lot of the time, not just with Andrew Tate, but with a lot of individuals that you won't watch a full clip. You'll just watch like a edited segment of what someone says and just say, oh yeah, no, there's my proof he's a jackass. Again, I have no idea if that's the case with Andrew Tate. I just don't care.
Well, yeah, there's been cases that I've seen with Tate's comments being taken out of context, but there's also been cases where I've watched full interviews with Tate, and he says things during this full interview that kind of line up with something he said earlier. That's also like, I'm not sure about that. That seems a little out of line.
The point I'm trying to get at though is that, for the most part, like I really won't subscribe to bashing on Andrew Tate as much as a lot of other people.
Oh yeah, well,
because I just don't know.
But let's say, okay, the mentality of being an alpha male, like what does everybody in here think that a man should be? Because a lot of people like take the masculinity trait nowadays, and obviously that's been like driven into the dirt. It's a dirty word now. Masculinity is a dirty word now. But what should a man be?
Well, this can be interesting because I think we all will relatively agree on this, but I think that we may have kind of a very slightly different idea.
Or maybe like I think we all generally do agree on the same thing, like what a man should be.
All right, fantastic.
Okay, let's start with this. Should the man be the breadwinner?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, no, we're pretty much in agreement on that.
No discussion.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Now, how about sole breadwinner?
Now, I will say, should men be opposed, at least, before having a child, a woman being somewhat, career oriented? When you're first getting together and all that stuff, where you both work a job.
I don't think that's necessary. Here's the thing. Maybe some people disagree with me in the room, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all. If a woman is career driven, I think the problem arises once both of you have decided to have kids. And again, it really does depend on what both of you want. You should really discuss this before marriage. Do both of you want kids, or does one of you want kids and the other one doesn't want kids? And so, obviously that needs to be discussed beforehand, and not there are so many couples nowadays where all of a sudden 5 years into their marriage, one of them wants kids and the other one doesn't want kids, and they end up breaking up. Maybe you should have discussed this beforehand.
But before you got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me. I had a full experience like that about a couple years ago. No, I didn't get married. Luckily, I didn't get married. Whew, that would have been bad. Yeah, I won't.
The message is don't get married.
I wouldn't say that. Marriage is great. It's just that, for me, for example, you guys know the marriage laws are a little biased towards women. That's no secret. So, and that's because of Ronald Reagan. So, by the way, if you're going to trash anybody for that, Ronald Reagan's your man. He created the no-fault divorce states. But I was in a relationship with a girl who didn't want to have kids, and she didn't tell me until about a year in. So, and I was thinking, okay, cool. We're about to move in together. We're thinking about starting a life, kind of sharing everything we have. And then I was like, well, what are we going to do when we decide to go a little further and have kids? She's like, I don't ever want kids ever. Yeah. Wow. So I was like, well, then this isn't going to work. So I just straight told her that's my non-negotiable. That's kind of the whole point of being a man is, also being a good, upstanding father. We're all called to fatherhood, just like how all women are called to motherhood in some sort of fashion. Doesn't mean that you have to birth a child or have to have a kid. It could be through adoption, through volunteer work. It could be anything. So, but anyone who doesn't have that innate desire to be a parent might have something wrong with them.
I will, and Liam, we've talked about this before, everyone has, I think every guy who has an aspiration to be a father kind of has that, father moment toward, any younger kid. It's oh, I want a daughter. Every single guy in here wants a daughter, truly to the fact that they can walk in eventually when they're, a little older with their boyfriend. You can sit in there with a loaded shotgun and just, fear and intimidation.
I dream of nothing more. I want that exact moment.
I don't want to be that dad.
Oh, okay.
I want it to be very subtle. Very subtle. I want him to find out further down the line that I'm not afraid to go to jail.
I want to look her boyfriend in the eyes and be like, listen, I'm all about back the blue, but I don't want to bother them.
This is Texas. We don't call the police here. That's not how that works.
There's I think ultimately going back to the main subject is that following Nathan, I think many men are kind of that they have that motivation to be a father. And I think ultimately what it means to be a man is to be strong in the sense of being kind. And if I can explain that a little bit further, to use your strength for compassion and kindness towards others. Even when you don't necessarily want to. Don't be a little bitch. Stand up for yourself if you need to. Mm-hmm. Show that you have the capability of standing up for yourself. Show that you have the capability to be dangerous toward others. But also reserve yourself. And I think reserving yourself is probably one of the most masculine traits you can have. Learning to turn the other cheek. Learning to walk away. And learning to love those who are not necessarily kind to you.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's biblically speaking. Again, I don't know. I know that everyone here doesn't believe in the Bible's teaching, but generally speaking, and Jordan Peterson kind of says the same thing. A man needs to be strong, needs to be confident, but also has to be able to control those aspects of their life. If you were because any kid can get strong, get confidence, but use that to a drastically negative effect and just become a horrible person. And I'm not saying alpha males are those kinds of people, but again, you can get confident, get strong, and justify your bad actions. Whereas I do feel like a real man would be strong, confident, but also stand up for others and be reserved. He knows how to be gentle. He knows how to be compassionate. He knows how to be kind. That's what makes a real father. That's what makes a good husband. Again, that's when I feel like a real man does. Not like an alpha male, stuff like that, but that's a real man for me.
Yeah, no, those types stick out
Yeah.
too, and I mean you can always tell the difference. I spend a lot of time in bars and pool halls and stuff like that, and you can tell the difference between somebody who's got their life put together and somebody who doesn't. And 10 times out of 10, it's usually, always, a man with a grounded family, kids, and their own career and life going on, and they're just out doing stuff that for the enjoyment of doing it, versus people who go out because they need it. That's there are people who find fulfillment within their lives, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. The people who live or who have like online presences and stuff like that, who make their career out of getting up in front of people and trying and having to put on an image to sell a product or sell themselves or whatever. There's a big difference between somebody who has that personal fulfillment versus somebody who gets money out of it and has to constantly put that on.
100%.
I think a lot of it is an act.
show. Yeah, they're so putting on a show. That's it. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's my
No,
talk.
But like
Well done.
I've seen it.
We'll put
I've
that
seen
clip
it
online.
work. Like that's more of the point. I've seen it work for people, and I've seen the differences between a lot of different people's lives where they live by these attributes that you'd consider alpha, and it works. It works very, very well.
You can tell, like, again, you want to talk about like fulfillment in your life. There's a lot of real men, like the men that I just described, and the men that you're describing, who feel real fulfillment in their families. They acquire joy from their families. And again, it's not going to be all the time. Your kids are going to piss you off. Your wife's going to piss you off. All that stuff is never going to 100% satisfy you 100%. But there is a humongous amount of fulfillment from that you get from being a father. And again, like I'm not a father personally, but I can see that in the men in my life and the men that I look up to. There's a certain amount of fulfillment, and the fact that like none of us are our fathers, my father, his father, they've talked about like having kids and you not being to really understand how much love and affection you have for your kids until you have kids. And so there's a certain amount of a fulfillment that you can get from having this thing that has come, this new thing that's come into the earth, who is completely defenseless, raising it from a young age, and trying to raise that person as the best human being you can possibly make. Like, there's a huge amount of fulfillment in that, and that should, and again, it's the same thing with mothers. Like, that should not be taken for granted ever. And for a lot of people, fatherhood and motherhood is very much downgraded in the society. It's not looked upon as a strong attribute, but those are some of the strongest people that I know, the ones that are genuinely good at it and patient with it.
Welcome back, Liam.
Hello.
Sorry, I actually missed out on the conversation. I didn't know what you're all talking about.
Talking about daddy.
But I do want to add on to that. I think that it ultimately
I really did not mean Father.
I think probably the most fulfilling way to approach it
You need it, just let me.
would honestly be having a child. But I think that it comes down to men have this they have this urge to leave something behind, to provide something meaningful, whether that be through a service, whether that be through raising somebody, or whether that just be a garden that you can grow food in. Men have a innate drive for finding some kind of purpose. And I ultimately think that if you're not pursuing purpose, that you can't really consider yourself a man. If your life is motivated strictly by pursuing pleasure, just sitting there and doing nothing and just quote unquote enjoying the moment, though I think that you should try to enjoy the moment. If those are your only focuses, I don't consider you a man.
Yeah, 100%. Like purpose, like there's purpose in a man's life. Again, I think like you and I have talked about this in the past. Like I take a huge amount of joy in completing, like editing this podcast or editing videos or stuff like that. Like there's a humongous amount of like satisfaction that I get in completing tasks and doing something that's fulfilling. Yeah. And so I know you've talked about this before. You have that same kind of drive, and I think many men who have that sense of purpose, like once they like complete something like tasks for the day, like it can be like what the Jordan Peterson view of things, like just making your bed in the morning, those simple tasks early in the morning, there's a certain amount of satisfaction that you get from it. But like that kind of purpose, I hope that's coming across clear. I'm not 100% sure.
It's absolutely not. You're failing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for being. Yeah.
terrible.
Well, someone had to say it to me eventually.
You moron.
By the way, to your point, it's not just an enjoyment of the moment; it's an appreciation of the moment. There's a
Appreciation.
big-
That. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. That's actually probably a much better description because appreciating and just simply enjoying it are different. You can enjoy a moment without really like remembering it.
Yeah.
It can be a second in time that ultimately goes away, and after that, doesn't really matter. When you can learn to appreciate a moment, it's something that kind of just sticks with you. Not only in that moment, but ultimately through your life in general, whether that be a simple memory or whether that just be a feeling that you can carry on.
Absolutely.
Do you think that would be, or do you think that would be more damaging? You know, enjoying something rather than appreciating it.
No, that's what we're saying.
Everyone.
Yeah, that was the point. That was the point we're making. That enjoyment.
Speaking for everybody.
Enjoyment can ultimately can lead to damaging things. Like you can enjoy a lot of bad things in the moment.
Hookup culture.
And you're not going to learn to appreciate it.
That's what I was getting at.
However, if you can appreciate something, it's likely that if you're appreciating something in the moment, it's something that you can appreciate lifelong.
Yeah.
No one appreciates being drunk and falling out of the car. Like that's not something that people appreciate. They enjoy it.
Fun to watch.
Depends on the person. Like if you're drunk enough, you can enjoy it. And you may not enjoy it later, but you can definitely enjoy it in the moment. You're not going to appreciate it because you won't be there to appreciate it. You're going to be kind of doing your own thing. All right, so I want to go back to an earlier thing that we talked about putting people in boxes and talking about how you can't really put someone to a box of alpha or omega or beta or
Because it's not a phase, Mom.
extrovert. However, I do want to, before we jump to this next thing, I want to ask, is it ever appropriate to box someone into things?
Yes, pedophiles.
100%.
Specifically a coffin.
Yes, specifically a coffin. But other than the obvious, like pedophile, I'm talking about
Thank you.
strict like personality trait. Like, is it ever appropriate to really put someone in a box or to define somebody in any scenario with just outside of the whole alpha, omega, outside of the introvert, extrovert? Let's go a little bit broader. Is it ever okay to put someone in a box?
I think as a basic description, there's no harm in it at all. I think, again, like what you said, there's no real personality trait that's going to encompass everything that's wrong with you. But like describing me as an introvert, sure, that's not who I am, but I like being alone and stuff like that. So, and again, you can describe like everybody here like with similar personality traits, but that's not who they are. But it's like putting a label on somebody isn't wrong or isn't incorrect. That's something that's speaks to them maybe, but is not them as a whole.
Yeah, things have like people have traits that you can define, and I think those are traits that kind of there are certain traits that kind of just remain with people. Like even as you grow as a person, there's always like something that kind of sticks. Like I've always been a high-pitched annoying kid, and I'm now a high-pitched annoying adult. So
I'm glad you didn't say man, because we were going to about to have a disagreement.
oh,
I don't know. He's got some good like facial hair. That's pretty manly.
Hey, apparently women can have facial hair now.
Well, okay, well,
Peepees, yeah.
but I wanted to get everyone's opinions on that real fast. I mean, Charles, what do you think?
peepees.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that they're helpful in some circumstances where you just need to have a quick label that, like, instead, like if you have something that is, because you oh my God, I'm stumbling all over the place.
You're good.
You can have labels that are highly accurate to individual people and personality types and stuff like that. And so it can be helpful to a conversation to be able to just say, I'm this, and it encompasses a whole list that everybody's familiar with, and you can just move on with it. I hate overly specific descriptions, like the whole like 20,000 different types of communists and stuff like that. Leftists do this all the time, where they will create a new label for them specifically, and then somebody else will be like, "Oh yeah, no, that describes me," but also this, and then they'll make a new label for themselves, and it's super annoying. Nobody knows what it means except for them. So that's where I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Yeah, I mean, but it's super it's deconstructive for me.
There's a huge like popularity aspect of like defining yourself.
Yeah.
And like it's the same reason why there's so many women who are super interested in like the astrology signs. Like, what's your zodiac sign? Is like, I want to die just because you said that.
Don't even get me started. Oh my god.
Hate someone with a
Nathan,
zodiac.
Nathan, what would be your opinion on that matter?
On what?
On is it ever appropriate to put someone inside of a box?
In a generalized consensus, like for law enforcement, they do that. With FBI agents who are the detectives in the bureau, they have profiles that they use for people like who are most likely to be pedophiles, who are most likely to be car thieves.
His microphone is right in the middle of the camera. Can you please move it? Thank you.
Okay.
Cut that. We're gonna keep that.
I need this shit, so I didn't really think about that.
So anyway, now that Michael is done, this was going to be a little bit more of a natural transition, so I'm going to let you finish your point real fast.
And invisible as always. That's me.
No. So speaking of whether it's okay to put people in boxes, we are now going to try to put each other in a box of what male archetype best fits us. Whether that be alpha, beta, omega, zeta, or whatever the fuck the other ones are.
I think we should get a general definition of all 7 before we decide to do that.
Well, that's what we're going to do, Jake.
So to clarify, I'm going to go down this list as fast as I possibly can. Alpha male. Alpha males are strong-willed leaders who love to take charge. Beta males. Beta males are extremely kind and down to earth. Gamma males. Gamma males are the life of a party. Freaking delta males. Delta males are very responsible and keep the world moving. So like construction workers, stuff like that. Yeah, boy. Zeta males. Zeta males are one-of-a-kind progressives. We might be able to take like the progressive in like the non-political context. So like it doesn't have to be
more in a personality
short
aspect, not necessarily in a political aspect.
Yeah. And then 2 more, Sigma males. Sigma males are confident mentors who play by their own rules. And freaking Omega males. Omega males are skilled introverts who don't need external validation. So, like, again, nobody in this room 100% fits that 1,000%. But at the same time, it's fun to put people in boxes.
It's totally, I agree. So
Yeah.
the way this
Don't tell the human traffickers that.
the way this little roundabout is going to go is we're going to start with each individual, and we're going to all hold a vote against that individual of which label best fits them. So we're going to start with Charles because he wasn't involved in this game last night when off camera. So let's go ahead and start with Charles. Charles, what box would you put yourself in before we actually...
Probably Omega.
Probably Omega?
Yeah, I'm just going
Omega?
off of the list. Yeah.
Just to read Omega again because I forgot what that was.
So did I. We should all probably have our phones out just to clarify.
100%.
Omegas are skilled introverts who don't need any external validation.
Oh shit! Wait, I'm
Wait.
sorry.
We have a link in the
We have a link in the chat. We should all. Oh, hold
I
on.
literally have it up.
Nathan is
Like,
not in the know of
Oh,
this.
I'm sorry. Delta.
How's it going?
That's what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
there we go.
So Nathan is not, Nathan is not in the know of this. So
yeah,
go
'cause,
ahead
yeah,
and
we'll
share your
share it.
screen with
Delta.
Nathan
Delta
over
was what I was thinking
there.
of.
100%. It looks like Michael's coming back from the restroom to
Delta.
be able to participate.
Clarify. Delta males are responsible and keep the world moving. I think I actually had him as Delta.
Did you put him down as
I think I actually did put him down as Delta. No one can see you.
doing the Gwitty over there? Oh my god.
Okay.
I wish we could see him.
So based off the definitions that we have, the way we're doing is we're going to go around the circle.
I hate life.
We're going to ask the individual. What box they would put themselves in, and we're going to have everyone vote on what box they should be put in. So we're starting out with.
Can my answer be a coffin?
Could
like
you
Mikey's?
Could you point the mic freaking directly?
So Charles, his answer was that he was a Delta male. So
Delta Airlines.
we're gonna vote.
Explains it all.
Southwest is best.
We're gonna vote.
Okay.
Hell no.
What is
Absolutely
Charles?
not. White.
Hang on. How is Southwest not the best?
It's not at all. It's
It
the
is.
poorest.
It's what?
It's the poorest.
It's the poorest? What do you
Yes.
mean it's the poorest.
Southwest.
Spirit Airlines is the poorest.
Oh no, you're right. I was actually thinking of Spirit.
Dear
My bad.
Lord.
No. I was thinking of Spirit. We both agree. I'll hold your hand after this.
Hey, all
Very
right.
good.
100%.
All right.
So if we had to put him in a box,
Oh, here. Let me.
does Delta Male apply to Charles?
Oh, I mean, I think isn't that what I
Yeah,
said
WikiHow.
that he was when we were
Yes.
at the lounge? I think I said Delta.
Hardworking, loyal, responsible.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not the responsible part.
We got the common personality traits: hardworking, loyal, responsible. Oh, I think all of those pretty much make sense for Charles.
Now to break it
We
down,
do have ugly down at the bottom, and I would
Yeah, well,
like.
Can't win them all.
Would you consider him highly adaptable? Would you consider Charles highly adaptable?
This is my first time
Yeah.
meeting him, so I have no clue.
It's not your first time. We had a whole conversation about this not being.
You're
our
his
first time
son.
meeting him.
First time I have knowingly met you.
Knowingly.
Is he competent?
No.
Confident.
He gets more chicks than all of us. He's pretty confident.
Has nothing to do with.
Has nothing to do with competence.
Does he have a strong work ethic?
With bitches.
I guess Andrew Tate has proven that it can be a job. So
100%.
Right.
All right.
Jeez.
So all for Delta. Raise your hand.
I agreed on Delta. Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Yeah, I'm good for Delta
Not
Male.
you, not you, Charles. 100%.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Nathan.
Austin says yes.
Nathan.
Thank you. Thank
Nathan's
you.
opinion
You're voting
doesn't matter.
correctly, Austin. I appreciate it.
Okay.
100%. We're going Delta on that.
Okay.
All right. So let's switch over to Michael. Michael, how do you view yourself? If you had to put yourself in a box. I know you hate boxes.
I mean, as a self-proclaimed alpha male, no. Dude, I don't know. Apparently, a Zeta is a one-of-a-kind. I'm not a progressive.
Well, okay. So to clarify, it doesn't.
I know it doesn't mean
Not in the
political.
political sense.
I don't know. I guess maybe a Zeta. I have no idea. Sure, we'll go with Zeta.
Go with Zeta.
Hey, good job.
Sure. I don't know.
100%. So Zeta male, just to be precise.
I didn't really read the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Super Zeta,
So,
bro.
okay. Was that what you say you are?
Zeta. Yeah.
Okay, Zeta.
Divine Zeta.
Zeta. Blah, 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 blah. Zetas are one-of-a-kind progressives. There's a reason Zeta male is the least talked about personality type in pop culture. They're nonconformists who don't care about what other people think. They know themselves and refuse to change to fit into rigid social standards of society. Zeta males are fierce creatives who blaze new paths for themselves and others. Common personality traits: creative, independent, self-aware. Careers they excel at: actor, artist, musician, writer. You are actually a pretty good actor. Popular Zeta male characters: John Kenting from Dead Poets Society.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. I have no idea who any of these guys are. Augustus from The Fault in Art. I don't. I don't know. Yeah. That's Zeta.
Cool.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
But yeah, put me in a box if you so desire.
I'll try and fit you in there.
Yeah, that one's like super easy. Zeta. That's
Zeta?
the first thing that came to mind.
So
Yeah.
last night I actually kind of put him on Gamma. So just to clarify on Gamma males are the life of a party. Equally creative, adventurous, they're often portrayed as fun-loving men of culture. They love to travel, believe their purpose in life is to have fun, rich, fulfilling experiences. Loud, bombastic. So it's not a bad thing. They're consistently on the move. They can create powerful friendships wherever they go.
Oh.
I said friendships.
Did he create a
Well,
powerful
again,
friendship with you, Nathan?
did he what?
Did he create a powerful friendship with you?
When you sang the Pokemon song at karaoke, yes. After that, I was like, this man's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
now the only thing I don't agree with this part is the moving, because you're usually sitting down.
Too fucking
He's
lazy to
correct.
move.
He's fucking right.
Are we still going on him?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
100%. So all for we're going Zeta or
Gamma.
Gamma.
I'd say
All for Gamma.
I'd say Gamma. Gamma. Not Gamma. Oh, hey, yeah, okay. Change your mind.
All for
You
Zeta.
changed your
I'm
mind,
sticking with
didn't
Zeta.
you?
All right, sticking with Zeta.
Nonconformist is 100%. I think that's the tipping point for me.
Yeah. No, I can I don't think I agree with the nonconformist part. I just think that going down the list of personality traits in Gamma Man, I just think
There's more traits.
there's more traits.
100%. Nathan. What would you consider yourself?
We just skipped like
I'm a Sigma.
If you call
a
yourself a
trigendered
Sigma, you're
pyrofox from the
immediately not a
forest
Sigma.
We were going this way.
No, there's no order to this.
Really?
I'm last.
You're just targeting me.
I'm last.
so you just made yourself last.
100%. Nathan, let's go.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
You can take that.
I don't
Yeah.
appreciate you referring to me as a cisgendered human male. I'm a trigendered pyrofox. From the
I love
forest
you.
planet.
All right.
What are you even saying?
My name's Fire Dash.
So what all right, Nathan. What
I'm a cosmic space fox.
yeah, what box do you want to
I'm ashamed I know what that was.
God, I fucking.
Yeah. God, I've never liked labels my entire life because all of my morals have been not conflicting, or contradicting.
Get the fuck over it and put yourself in a box.
Shit.
If
know-
he can call himself a vegan, you can call yourself a.
Listen, if your morals are conflicting, you might be an alpha male.
Oh.
What? No.
What?
No. Because I mean, my whole life, even now, I'm just now starting to get to the point to where I'm fine taking charge over things. I've never wanted to be in positions of leadership, but at the same time, you've always heard the people that don't want to be leaders are usually the best leaders. Not saying that about myself. Could totally be wrong.
He's
because
totally
that's
saying that about himself.
totally. Yeah, watch out. I'm a total narcissist. Who knows? Yeah. It sounds basic as shit, but just because of, I've always believed in fortune favoring the bold, right? Taking risks, taking chances, and not subscribing to specific rules, how some rules were meant to be broken. And it kind of falls in line with the whole Sigma male stuff. But I'm not saying that from a point of kind of like how everyone says they have ADHD. I'm like, no shit. It encompasses everybody, right? So, yeah. So I'm thinking either Sigma or Beta. Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, not like Liam. You probably know him the best. I hung around.
What you've known about Nathan so far.
Yeah, for people in the room who have known him for very little time.
Start judging. Start judging. So
Yeah,
hard. Just
based on his hair.
Like, here's the thing. Like, reading through this specific definition and getting to know you, I would say that the Sigma archetype probably fits you a little bit more than any other of these, because you're definitely not the life of a party.
Shit.
Like, you're not a one of a kind progressive. You're not really interested in leadership. I don't think you are often looking for like unique experiences.
You know what's funny?
In terms of culture. So honestly, I'd have to say Sigma probably fits you the most.
He actually like Ferris Bueller, like one of the popular Sigma male characters, Ferris Bueller from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't know if this is offensive, but like you kind of remind me of Ferris Bueller. So
Yes. Hey, you remind me of Gandalf.
oh yeah,
Yes. Gandalf. The
my
Sigma.
standards. You shall not pass. That's me.
Oh my god.
So I guess with the data I have available on you, sure, I'd go with Sigma.
same.
Yeah.
I'll put that as an amoral compliment. Thank you.
All right.
Jacob.
All right, because Liam is putting himself last,
Jacob.
freaking, I'll
Yourself in a box.
go with Omega Male because it sounds cool. And hey, baby, and oh gosh, this is happening. And Omega Males are skilled introverts who don't need external validation.
You don't need no man.
I don't need no. Get away from me.
But you're my boss, baby.
What? This is happening, isn't it? Yeah. If you you can tell we're poor because on the last podcast there were several seconds of footage where we weren't even showing Michael because his camera had shut off, and yeah.
I noticed it. I just didn't think it mattered.
It made the episode better.
To be clear, I was the one who was supposed to be looking after the camera, and I completely forgot because we were far gone up until that point.
Which one of these male archetypes says irresponsible cunt? No?
Alpha.
We can go back to Alpha for a second if you want.
That was meant to be a joke, but none of you laughed, so I'll go fuck myself. It's okay.
Shit.
It's like a dad joke. We all thought it was funny, just
Said
didn't.
you're not the life of the party. You know?
Exactly. See, I'm only proving my point.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, hey, like I'll probably if I'm gonna put myself under a box, even though it's still not a phase mom. I'd probably say Omega Male.
But
Which one of these is stuttering?
I'd probably agree with that. Omega. I mean, based off this one, the skilled introverts who don't need external validation. Shy are more reserved. I wouldn't say you're shy. I don't know. You are reserved.
I'm not shy, but
Shy.
yeah.
They're very independent and very comfortable. That definitely explains you. They'd rather spend time coming up with usually brilliant.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I agree with this.
Socializing with others. You would rather be by yourself than socializing with others.
That's 99% of the time. I would rather be by myself. I don't know why I'm.
Percent of the time.
That's why you're on a podcast.
Yeah, that's why I've done 3 of these at this point.
So you talk to people, but you don't have to face the repercussions of actually looking them in the face. No?
That seems like a life of party.
Now, I'll go with Omega on this one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think as we kind of talked about, like the cigar lounge, like Omega, yeah. That's
Okay.
the one that fits you the most, I guess.
From our limited interactions,
I mean,
I'd probably
still,
go with
I
that.
think like probably you're a mixture of Omega
And given that
and
you
Beta.
haven't talking to me a lot,
I agree with that.
I'm gonna assume Omega.
Yeah.
I would 100% say Omega.
Cool.
It's-
I'm a little concerned that Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Oh, okay. I thought it was like Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, but I thought it was like Dexter from Dexter the Serial Killer.
Oh, dude, I remember that show.
Yeah, remember when it was good?
Like I think like the first, I recall the first 2-3 seasons or so. might have been-
Give or take.
I think anything after the third season, I vaguely remember I was like, man, this is kind of bad. Why is this bad?
I had finished watching Game of Thrones around that time, and I was not interested in committing to another series that eventually turned bad.
Anyways, so
Dexter's sister ruined the whole show. Yes. Not Dexter's Laboratory, but
yeah,
Dexter,
I know. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But
serial
yeah,
killer. His
well,
sister sucked.
So we've saved the least for last.
Well, at least for last.
The vegan of the group, the
So
muncher.
this is where I actually had a bit of a disagreement.
Plants vs. Animals.
Like,
Oh,
I personally would put myself in the Gamma because I am very bored very easily, and I constantly try to go out and find new experiences or find something to do that is unique. And that's where I would place myself personally.
So you think we're both gammas?
I think, well, I'm not the life of a party. That's probably the only thing that doesn't really apply to me.
I think you can actually party
You
pretty
think?
well.
I
I've seen you at live events before.
I think I can keep a conversation going.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, when you and me have gone out to like bigger events, like where I wanted to kill myself, you have been like out with other people, like engaged in the activities.
All right, that's fair.
So I could say that I would maybe not the life of party, but you definitely like fit in really well.
and I'm accidentally loud and bombastic.
Did you see where it
Like,
says
I'm
goofy?
only loud because I don't know my
Yes.
own vocal range, not
We
because
know.
I intentionally have that personality trait. I would personally put myself in Gamma. There are some people that disagree, but I would personally put myself in Gamma. Put myself in a box. And yes, y'all can get it out now. So
So yesterday I put you under beta. Now, because of what you just said, and because I just read Gamma, I'm still not 100% convinced, but the reason I put you under beta, let me just read the full freaking definition real
God.
quick. Shy or more reserved. You're not shy, and I wouldn't say I would say you're somewhat reserved to a point. I wouldn't say that describes you, but beta nails value personal relationships over material wealth and career achievements. I would 1,000% say that's something that you do. You value friendships. Pop culture suggests that they're great conversationalists. You're a pretty good conversationalist. Have a lot of success domestically. They're often associated with happy long-term marriages and children. You want 6 kids, so there's that. Betas are communicative, creative, make great romantic partners. Liam, do your romantic partners believe that you have been a great romantic partner?
no,
I'm about to
No.
say.
This is where the debate's going
I've
to
been
come.
a terrible romantic.
this is where he's alpha because he turned his last one lesbian.
Yeah.
No, I know.
That's pretty
I turned
alpha.
a lesbian straight,
Yeah, and then she
and
got.
then she started doing meth afterwards.
Yeah,
So you turned her straight, and then when you broke up, she became a drug addict.
So basically, what's worse, lesbians or meth? Like we gotta yeah.
Ooh.
Hopefully, we all have the same answer, right?
Yeah, lesbians.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, domestic violence rates Methods are methods are probably better, but
Sad.
but
Why is this the episode that we're gonna get canceled on?
That's good.
We're not gonna get canceled until we end up getting sponsorships, because then they're gonna be
great.
like, oh, they have money. We
will
don't
never
like
and
that.
less teeth.
You don't like people who. There we go. That's true.
There's a certain point where fewer teeth become less attractive until there's no teeth, and then they become more attractive. It's
It's like a circle.
it's horseshoe theory. It's,
Oh my god.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Okay. So Liam
this.
views himself as a gamma.
So again, Liam views himself as a gamma. Again, to go back to gamma for a second, because I just went over beta, which I think describes you a pretty good, decent amount. But go back to gamma, equally creative and adventurous. They're often portrayed as fun-loving men of culture. I would say you're a man of culture. You like icons and stuff for your stuff. Again, you've always before you were Ron theologically. You had lots of. Wow. Anyway,
Wow, I had lots of wow.
I drew.
Much wow.
Much wow.
I drew such a huge blank right there. I looked right into your eyes and just died a little bit.
Okay, so Jacob believes Liam is closer to a beta cuck than anything.
Which one are you?
No, he's not a cuck.
No,
but,
beta cuck. Gotcha.
Which one
All
are
right,
you?
what
Which
about
one are you settling on?
God, I need y'all. Someone else talk about this. I want to
Please.
read.
oh yeah.
Oh, God, go ahead.
No, by all means.
Dad, come on, just do it.
All right. I'll come first.
Yes.
Oh wow.
All right. I'll compromise here. Gamma cuck.
Okay.
Like hybrid.
Okay.
Are we like
Gamma
mixing
cuck.
them together now? It's like a hybrid.
Yeah, I
a
think that's
gamma cuck.
gamma cuck is. Yeah, I
We
think
have to
that's
fit him in one box and one box only. though.
100%.
Oh man, no, I'm going
a
with
smaller box. It's a subset of
substrata.
So, yeah, it's
Substrata of cuck. I see.
You got to put me in a box.
I don't know how long you guys have known Liam, but it's been about 5 years for me. Mm-hmm. He's been on vacation with me. We went to the same school. I've gotten drunk with him. So you see,
beta.
yeah, you see a lot.
You just settle on cock.
Okay, but go on. Sorry.
Man, I've known the people he's dated. I've worked with them. He was also my coworker when we were both beta bitches. So
Okay.
we evolve over time. That's the reason I don't like these male archetypes, is because people think they're solidified. They're
Yeah.
not. They're not. You can end up, it's like a bell curve. You can be anywhere on that. So, but gamma male sounds very realistic. Very bombastic. You've always been the weirdo. So, and that can always be a really good thing.
Weird.
Yeah. You can be. You're looking at me like I'm wrong.
I'm just
quirky.
I'm so quirky.
I'm not like other girls, guys. Pick me, please.
like other
I'm a
guys.
special snowflake.
So we're going gamma with you. What box are you putting me in, Jacob?
So, in reality, I think you were a good mix between beta and gamma.
my God.
The only
gamma cuck.
What's the box? You can only do one box.
I wanna go beta, but
You're no longer.
the reason I'm going to switch is partly peer pressure,
Oh my god.
but the other part,
Beta. That's pretty beta. I'm changing my answer
no.
on Jacob now.
No. The reason I'm changing is the romantic partner angle. That sounds a little insulting. But no. Hear me out. This starts as an insult and ends with a compliment.
I thought it was because you
It
were
starts
saying
as an
he's not
insult.
a great romantic partner.
It starts with an insult. It's just for the fact that your last romantic partner changed into a drug addict.
Oh.
There's that. Listen, I've had worse relationships, so I can't talk. But I think the ending of Gamma Male, they're consistently on the move and can create powerful friendships wherever they go. I think the fact that, again, where we're in social situations and you are very interested in talking and having a conversation with people, whereas I want to sit in the corner and not have a single word to talk to anybody. I think that would describe you a little more than beta, though I still think that you are a good mix between the two. I think it's a good 50-50.
And Michael. Oh no.
Oh man.
Man,
Is this? Are we going to a roast?
look, Liam, I love you, bud. All right,
We are.
You've probably been like the person who who's become one of my best friends the fastest. Okay,
But
Okay, cut the bullshit.
but you're a total beta cuck. No. No, okay. Fine. I guess you're a gamma. I guess you're a gamma.
No, you have to be honest.
You have to be honest. I have to take it.
Let me look at the thing again.
Oh my god.
We just went through this 6,000 times.
Yeah, but again, when you think something is bullshit, you don't really pay attention to it all that often.
Play it like a numbers game. It's all
I thought about this intensely.
You are. I don't know if you're extremely kind. Call me fat all the time. You are down to earth.
Listen. I'm honest. That's not like
The truth hurts.
I'm saying.
Just hiding behind the honest.
Disguise and say you look well nourished.
Dude, hippos look well nourished.
Damn.
Hey, that's a compliment in Mexico.
In the 1500s, you'd be regarded as
Could
a
be
royal.
Mexican.
That children would adore you. I think children would hate you because you're gonna make them vegans. So I guess gamma makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think they'd hate him. I just think he'd be a bad parent.
For now.
Holy shit.
Not for that. No. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually these take it out of context. So like, okay, never
I
mind.
think you would make an awful parent.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Terrible husband. You'd be a terrible father.
Dick is small.
Look,
Don't ask me how I know that.
Personality sucks.
Liam, I have a feeling that you'll be as bad of a father and a husband as you are a car salesman.
Gee. Oh my gosh.
Listen, nothing can ever be
You
that.
just said he called you fat and you just roasted his entire existence.
Nothing could ever be that bad.
No, gamma. I guess gamma. Yeah, if I had to choose something, gamma fits you the most.
100%.
But beta is really close.
Beta's a close second. I'll take it.
Yep, I'm pretty much in agreement with that.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think we have much else to talk about.
Gamma. And cuck. And
Gamma
cuck.
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 Yeah.
Gamma cuck. 100%. Well, that would be the end of the episode. I want to thank Nathan for coming on the podcast. He is probably our first official guest star on the main episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe the video and to follow us on Instagram.
Okay.
Y'all have a wonderful night.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe or else.
They're gonna shoot me.